Welcome to Gerald88, the hideout where every online game is played at the highest level. Today I'm bringing you a brutal Where Winds Meet build, combining the deadly dart with the infernal twin blades. This setup melts bosses, clears mobs effortlessly, and becomes insanely fun once you master it. We're going straight to the point, no filler, so you can start dealing maximum damage right away. And remember, if this guide helps you and you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe for more high-level guides, builds, and endgame strategies. Let's start with Deadly Dart, a martial art that shines from the very first second. Its light attack is a wide sweep that hits all nearby enemies, making it perfect for clearing groups. It actually hits harder than the twin blades light attack, so for world exploration and farming, this is simply the better option. Now when you press R, you enter a charging stance that consumes stamina. Important detail, you don't need to hold the button, a single press is enough. After 1.5 seconds, the skill becomes empowered, and this is the version we'll use almost all the time in combat. Charging it longer grants healing and chi regeneration, which you rarely need during fights, but it's very useful outside of combat to heal without using food or medicine. The special skill is called Rodent Fury, and this is where the build really goes wild. It summons a rodent that attacks automatically every time you perform a light attack. The more you attack, the more times the rodent hits. And here's the best part, even if you switch weapons, Rodent Fury stays active. Pay close attention to this because it's crucial. The rodent is the main damage source of the entire build, even stronger than the twin blades themselves. Its only downside is the 10-second duration, but we fix that later with internal paths. Casting it consumes one gratitude token, shown as a golden icon on Deadly Dart, which slowly regenerates over time. Next up is the martial arts skill Bound Sword Thread, activated with Q. You throw the dart at the target and can pull yourself toward a boss or drag normal enemies to you. If you press Q again within 2.5 seconds, you can knock the target down. The direct damage isn't impressive, but the effects are extremely valuable. First, it marks the enemy with a Vengeance token, increasing Rodent Fury damage by 50%. Second, it activates Rodent Hunt damage through the Vengeance internal path, which we'll break down later. So here's the core idea. Rodent Fury is the heart of Deadly Dart. The charge stance and Bound Sword Thread exist only to boost that damage. After that, you switch to the twin blades and keep attacking while the rodent keeps shredding the enemy on its own. If done correctly, you have two damage sources active at the same time, and that's where this build becomes absurdly strong. Now let's move on to the Infernal twin blades, which are the active damage engine of the build. Every light attack fills the Burning Rage bar, shown as the red meter above the blades. Once it's full, press R to enter the Berserk form. During this form, your critical chance and critical damage skyrocket. There's no real complexity here. Spam light attacks non-stop and weave in your martial arts skills while the Karmic Flame drains continuously. The duration of Burning Rage is short, but the damage is massive. In fact, it's the second highest damage source in the build, right behind Rodent Fury, so every activation needs to be fully exploited. The martial arts skill for the Infernal twin blades is Confusing Mind. When activated, your character spins forward, hitting the enemy multiple times. It can store up to 3 charges, allowing you to cast it 3 times in a row when fully stacked, which is perfect for burst windows. Finally, the special skill Calamity Greed. This consumes stamina and performs a short-range spinning attack. And here's the key detail. If you cast it again while the blade is still spinning, it triggers an additional horizontal slash, massively increasing damage in a very short time. For this build, the Wind Bamboo Cut Guide recommends Echoes of Oblivion, Vengeance, Breaking Point, and Tidal Reflection. I agree with the first 3, but we make one important change. We replace Tidal Reflection with Moral Chant, and here's why. Echoes of Oblivion and Vengeance are mandatory because they directly enhance the Infernal twin blades and Deadly Dart. Let's start with Echoes of Oblivion. It may sound complicated with terms like sin, karma, samsara, and karmic flame, but in simple terms, it increases twin blade damage by reducing enemy defense and resistance. It's a very strong and straightforward debuff. At tier 4, landing 6 hits within 2 seconds resets the martial art cooldown. This can only happen once every 10 seconds, but it gives you an extra round of abilities inside your combo, which significantly boosts DPS. Next is Vengeance, which is absolutely essential for Deadly Dart. It increases the duration of the Vengeance token applied by Bound Sword Thread and also speeds up Gratitude token recovery. At tier 3, it adds Rodent Hunt damage to the target, dealing 30% of Rodent Fury's damage over 15 seconds. In practice, this often becomes the 3rd highest damage source in the build, very close to the Twin Blades light attack damage. At tier 4, it fixes the biggest weakness of Rodent Fury, its duration. it goes from 10 to 15 seconds, and if you have 2 gratitude tokens, it extends to 20 seconds. This means the rodent is active for almost the entire fight. Next up is Breaking Point, which boosts damage when the enemy is exhausted. Hitting an enemy in this state grants critical damage and physical penetration. At Tier 4, this bonus reaches 25% critical damage and 25% physical penetration for 5 seconds. And if you unlock the final level, a perfect dodge also activates this effect, making it even more consistent. So in short, Echoes of Oblivion, Vengeance, and Breaking Point are the 3 core internal paths for this build. Now, why not Title Reflection? This path reduces martial art cooldowns when using control skills, but in this build only Deadly Dart can trigger it, and the value is simply too low to justify it. As a situational alternative, Bitter Seasons can work. It applies poison with a 10% chance per hit, and since the twin blades attack extremely fast, you can easily reach 5 stacks. These stacks deal damage and reduce enemy defense and resistance. However, our final choice is Moral Chant. This path grants a River Echo stack every 2 seconds, with an 80% chance per attack, stacking up to 5 times over 8 seconds. At Tier 4, the stacks become guaranteed every 2 seconds and last 12 seconds. Each stack increases damage, physical penetration, and healing. It's reliable, easy to maintain, and provides very strong bonuses, which is why it fits perfectly into this build. When it comes to mystic skills, besides the ones we almost always use like Frog Leap, Drunken Poet, and Dragon Breath, there are several that I strongly recommend, especially for boss fights. Meridian Touch, Cloud Steps, and Celestial Seizure are essential for bosses. These skills allow you to respond to dangerous mechanics, counter golden skills, and maintain control of the fight during critical moments. Whenever you're facing a boss, it's a good idea to have them equipped. Another very important one is Wolf Frenzy. This skill deals heavy damage and, more importantly, can hit downed enemies. That's why it's usually used right after executing a target, taking full advantage of that window to maximize combo damage. And finally, Cawing Chaos, which provides huge value as well. This skill slows down time, giving you more room to react, reposition, and execute your combo cleanly. In demanding fights, it often makes the difference between failing and landing the full rotation. As for gear sets, the guide recommends Swallow's Call for weapons and Tranquil Waters for armor, and for this build that makes perfect sense. Swallow's Call is crucial because its 4-piece effect increases damage when the enemy's chi drops below 40%. Since this build drains chi at an absurd speed, the bonus activates almost immediately, especially when enemies enter the exhausted state. It's consistent damage that's very easy to take advantage of. For armor, Tranquil Waters works great if you dodge frequently, as it has a chance to restore stamina and health every time you do. It provides excellent survivability without sacrificing offensive pressure. Now, if your playstyle focuses more on deflecting attacks, you can switch to Agile Step. With this set, after 3 successful deflects, incoming damage is reduced by up to 60%, which is extremely strong for long fights or aggressive bosses. One important detail: when you see the RCMD indicator in tuning attributes, it simply marks the recommended stats for this build. Follow those recommendations and don't overcomplicate things. Martial art talents can seem confusing at first, especially because of how the percentages work. Each martial art has 5 talents, and several of them scale with specific stats such as agility or minimum attack. For example, some talents increase minimum physical attack based on agility. The game shows a maximum value, let's say 150 agility, to gain 100% of the bonus. If you only have 97 agility, then you receive roughly 64% of that bonus. It's that straightforward. On the other hand, for talents that scale with Bamboo Cut minimum attack, if you already exceed the listed requirement, you automatically get 100% of the bonus with no penalty. That's why for this build, the priority is very clear. Through gear tuning, you want to focus on agility, minimum physical attack, and Bamboo Cut minimum attack. This way you maximize talent bonuses and get the most out of both Deadly Dart and Infernal Twin Blades. The combo always starts with Deadly Dart. Get close enough for the martial art skill to connect, then immediately press R to enter the charge for 1.5 seconds. No more, no less. That's the optimal timing. Once empowered, activate Rodent Fury. Then press Q to throw the dart, pull yourself toward the boss, and press Q again to knock it down. At this point, everything is set for big damage. Now switch to the twin blades and start applying pressure with light attacks, martial arts skills, and special skills. One important detail, don't spend all your martial art charges in this first rotation. Save some for later to maintain constant pressure. If you activated the Tier 4 buff from the Vengeance internal path, Rodent Pursuit lasts 20 seconds, so you can go straight into Berserk form without hesitation. If you don't have that buff, it's often better to step back slightly and reset the combo instead of forcing a weak rotation. When the boss becomes exhausted, that's when this build goes completely insane. This is your moment to unload everything. Watch the timing closely. When the exhaustion state is about to end, execute the boss and immediately cast Wolf Frenzy to squeeze out extra damage during that window. In short, this optimized build is powerful and surprisingly addictive. Try it yourself and you'll feel the difference immediately. This isn't my main build, so it's not fully maxed out here, but remember this: when properly optimized, the damage is absolutely brutal. And that's it for today's guide. If this build helped you, leave a like, share it with your group, and subscribe so you don't miss upcoming guides, builds, and updates for Where Winds Meet and many other games. I also invite you to join the channel's Discord and the Community Guild, where we play together, share builds, and help each other out. You'll find all the information in the video description. I'm Gerald88, and I'll see you in the next adventure, right here in the Hideout, where every online game is played at the highest level.